The third dynasty we're going to be talking about is the Han Dynasty. Now, the Han Dynasty was one of the greatest dynasties in Chinese history, and it's actually going to be considered to be the golden era in Chinese history because of the achievements that were made during this time period. Interesting fact, the Han Dynasty was actually named after the founder. His name was Lao Bang, and his title that was given to him was Han Gazu. And so they're actually going to take his title in that name and name this expansive territory after their leader. During the Han Dynasty, we're going to see them kind of continue some of the same traditions that the Qin or Qin Dynasty had. And one of these systems was choosing government officials based on the basis of merit rather than birthright. And so, in order to do that, because the population was increasing to over 60 million people during this time period, we're going to see the need for a large and efficient bureaucracy increase as well. So to create a regular system or kind of a more regulated system for these new officials, the Han Dynasty is going to introduce what is known as the civil service examination. And this competitive civil service system is going to be established to provide this rigorous, meaning difficult or very hard exam, similar to some of our unit tests, that are given to people that wish to have a job within the government or wish to become government officials. So we're going to see that this idea of a very regulated education system is going to start within the Han Dynasty. So only those that were educated, smart, and willing to work were the ones who would hold positions within the government. Because the Han Dynasty was so focused on education during this time period, we're going to see that they're going to lead to many great scientific discoveries. Some of those are going to be in the fields of chemistry, botany, and medicine. The Han Dynasty is also going to have a lot of inventions. For example, acupuncture, which you guys can see here on the right-hand side of your screen. They're going to introduce herbal remedies, paper, what you guys would think of as paper today. They're also going to introduce the rudder for ships, as you guys can see there. The rudder is going to be a very, very large invention because now ships can sail into the wind, making it possible for these Chinese merchants to carry heavy cargoes and travel throughout the islands and pretty much expand their trade and their trade routes. We're also going to see a lot of art and cultural achievements, and within those, particularly porcelain art, which you guys can see here on the right side of your screen, again with the dragon symbol, extremely and delicately painted. Also the fishing reel. Many of you guys like to go fishing. And finally, the wheelbarrow. These new technologies are going to allow the Han Dynasty pretty much to expand. We're going to see some of these scientific discoveries and inventions moving throughout the empire in what is known as the Silk Road. The Silk Road is actually a 4,000-mile long trade route that is going to wound through mountains and deserts and connect Asia to kind of the Mediterranean world. So you guys can see it here on the bottom of your screen. It looks like a little Candyland map. The Silk Road is not just a trade route, though. Many people think that it was just made for trade and it was kind of like a big highway, like you're thinking of the interstate, but it actually was a system of roads. And the Silk Road carried more than just goods. A lot of times we would see the exchange of silk, spices, livestock, but also word of mouth. So people were physically traveling on this road and they were spreading ideas. They were also spreading religion. We're going to see Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, many of these religions kind of spread throughout the use of the Silk Road. Marco Polo is going to be a very famous explorer who's going to travel on the Silk Road as well. A lot of inventions that were created within the Han Dynasty are going to spread to other territories in this region due to the Silk Road. So again, it was not just a trade route. It was a series of routes, kind of a series of roads that were linking these two sides together, allowing for trade, but also allowing for ideas to spread and religion to spread as well. We're going to see the Han Emperor fall, unfortunately, and because of this idea that the ruler has gone, there was a lot of weak rulers kind of taking over. We're going to see them and the noble families kind of have a gap. And so during this time period, at the fall of the Han Dynasty, China is going to experience a period of disunity, meaning that they were no longer kind of unified under one central government. A lot of nomadic tribes were coming and invading, and a lot of the different subgroups within this dynasty did not necessarily know how to fill the gap per se. So we're going to see a lot of invading tribes, warfare, and corrupt officials, and kind of devastation here at the fall of the Han Dynasty.